Alright, guys, it's that time of the year again. We're going to do studying for the midterm exams for the third year for 11th grade. As you can see, this is not live. The reason why this is not live is because I have a lot of things to do and I don't want to get distracted by the live chat because tomorrow I take 4 midterms. It's a full day. But maybe tomorrow night and Tuesday night it might be live because Tuesday, Wednesday are half days, and we take 2 midterms, and Thursday's a makeup day, which means if you miss a midterm, you have to come on Thursday. So that's what's been going on lately. So yeah, we're gonna do it like the old school way, where we just record myself studying. By the way, I'm not in my room. I'm in a different room. The reason why is because whenever I use this laptop in my room, the Wi-Fi and internet connection is bad. But in here is good. I don't know if it's because I'm too far away from the router, but it used to not be that bad. It usually works pretty good in my room, but now it's getting to the point where I can't really use the internet or this laptop in my room with the internet connection. I don't know. But I'm in the same room with the router. See, look. You see that right there where my finger is? That's the router. But anyway, because everything's like online now. So that's what's going on. And yeah, I got a lot of things to do. So this is probably going to be a pretty big video. I'm probably going to do 3 of these. This is going to be the big one. The next two might be smaller, but it might be live. I have to think about it. I keep forgetting Google Hangouts on Air is officially gone. But I can still use the YouTube Live webcam thing. So yeah. So anyway, I got 4 midterms. The first one is law studies. The second one's chemistry. The third one is speech 2, and the last one is U.S. history. I know it is kind of a lot. I don't understand why we have to take all 4 tomorrow. I know it's a full day, but it used to not be like that. I think last year we take 2 midterms, even if it's a full day. Like the third and fourth class you have, you won't take the test until next time. But 4 midterms, that's kind of too much, to be honest. So, law studies, I have to use this book for the study guide, which that won't take too much. Chemistry, I think I gotta look at all the stuff on Google Classroom, study guides, and speech 2 is actually a project. Um, it's worth 250 points. I'm actually gonna message my friend on Instagram about this. Basically, we have to write a 6 paragraph essay, well written, about internet and cybersecurity. Um, he's gonna do 4, I think, 4 paragraphs, and I'm gonna do 2 because I gotta do the poster board. But we also have to present it. We gotta present it tomorrow in front of the class in order to get the points. So he's gonna read 3 paragraphs. I'm gonna read 3 paragraphs. Oh, and I forgot. It has to be done when we have to present. We have to. We can't read it from the Chromebook because it's on Google Docs. The teacher says you have to read it from note cards because you have to make eye contact. You can't just stare at the notes. You have to like, hello everyone, my name is Eric Hawkland. Today I'm going to be presenting internet and cybersecurity, like that. You can't just stare at the notes for the entire time. You have to like, you know, look at the notes for like a second and then just look at the people. I know it is kind of weird. Nobody likes doing that, but it is what it is. Hey, at least I'm not doing this by myself. I'm doing it with somebody that I know since seventh grade. Yeah, about 3.5 years. All right, so first I'm going to I'm going to do the U.S. history first, even though I have that class last. The reason why is because I think that test is going to be the hardest out of all. So yeah, today's Sunday. You're probably wondering, why didn't you do this last night? I was going to, but I didn't have time. It was too late. And I also did like some English stuff that I haven't done yet. I just want to get that out of the way, and math. So I'm doing this. Notes. Yeah. All right. Oops. The study guide's on paper. We just have to fill out the blanks. And we went over it, and we got it right. All right. During the break, I'm going to like probably clean up all this stuff. So basically, this is it. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this out loud because I don't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't use your study guide for the test. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is our fourth test in U.S. history. I did good on the first one. The second one, I barely got a D. It's not an F, but it's a pretty low D. And the third one, I did not do good. And that kind of brought my grade down. I'm like, oh no. So I really have to study. And you're probably wondering, oh, so you didn't study for the last three tests? Um, a little bit, not much, because I didn't know how to study it. But now, since we have a better kind of study guide, I feel like this will help. And this is the midterm, so I have to get at least at least a C. I don't want to try and get a D. I want to get at least a C, at least 80 out of 100. Yeah, it's out of 100. So if I get a 65 or a 66 or below, that's a F. I have to get at least a 75. 75 is the lowest C. That's going to be tough because whenever we take the test in U.S. history, it's a lot, and it involves these documents and reading. It's like it's like a preview of the LEAP test or the EOC at the end of the year because we have to take that. So, but I'm going to read this out loud, and I'm going to voice record me reading this because it will be a lot easier for me to read this, and I can just listen to myself reading this probably like three times, and then I'll do this again tomorrow during lunch, and yeah, I'm gonna do my best. I'm not. It's not like I'm gonna do the test in 10 minutes. No, it's probably gonna take the whole period, like an hour and a half. Um, and then whenever we take a test in that class, we get to listen to music. So if I can listen to myself reading the whole study guide while I'm taking the test, that can probably help me so that I can remember. Because it's hard to remember things like this. Also, I might go over this with my dad because he kind of knows this stuff. So I'm gonna go through this. This is the thing that I'm focusing on the most is this for tomorrow. The law studies, I don't think it's gonna be that bad. Same with chemistry and the speech because I'm working with someone for that project. But this one, I think this is the most important thing. Even though I take this last, but I want to study this the most out of all. And then after this, I'm going to do the project, the speech, and then I'll go over the chemistry stuff and the law study stuff. So that's what I'm going to do today. So So yeah, I do voice recorders. I do a lot of them. It's mostly about school, and sometimes we'll record phone calls whenever I'm talking to someone on the phone. So yeah. Anyway, how are you guys been doing? Have you guys take your midterms? Are you done with it, or you're almost done, or you haven't taken yet? I take it tomorrow. I just wish it's not all four tomorrow. I wish it's two every day. That's what it should be. Like Monday should be fifth and sixth. Tuesday is going to be one and second. Wednesday is going to be three and four, and Thursday should be seven and eight. But it really isn't. That's so dumb. Or at least start the midterm on Friday. I don't get that. All right, I got no time to waste. I'm gonna read all this, and I'm gonna just re-listen to this 5 times, and hopefully this voice recorder doesn't stop because I don't want it to stop. If it stops, I'm gonna restart. All right, here we go. Western settlement. Mineral strikes lure people west. Gold, gold, silver, copper. Open range use of Texas Longhorn cattle drives. Barbed wire, barbed wire helped bring an end to open range cattle drives. 1862 Homestead Act, Homestead Act. Settler obtained title to up to 160 acres by paying $10 registration fee and living on land for 5 years, entitled settler to ownership. Government encouraged while settlers to move west. Presidents: James Garfield, 1881; Chester Arthur, 1881 to 1885; Grover Cleveland, 1885 to 1889. Wounded Knee, Sand Creek Indian Massacres, 1887. Dawes Act, Dawes Act allotted each Indian household 160 acres of reservation land to farm remaining land would be sold to whites, and the money placed in a trust fund for Native Americans. Tried to make farmers of Native Americans. It failed. Up to 1860, the tariff is the main source of the government revenue. Industrial America and labor unions. Alexander Graham Bell, telephone. Thomas Edison, influence of light bulb. Gustavus Swift, refrigerated freight cars impact. Thomas Scholes, typewriter. Trans transcontinental transcontinental railroad. Union Pacific hired Irish immigrants. Civil War. Vets. Central Pacific hired Chinese immigrants. 1869 met a uh, prom, promontory Point, Utah. Robber robber barons robber barons. Railroad entrepreneurs who were perceived as being greedy and corrupt. Identify the following with their business: John D. Rockefeller, Rockefeller, oil refining, Standard Oil. Are you fucking kidding me? I gotta restart. The voice recorder stopped. Gotta be kidding me. Western settlement. Mineral strikes lure people west, gold as being greedy and corrupt. Railroad entrepreneurs who were perceived as being greedy and corrupt. You know what? I'm just going to do parts. I feel like that's better if I just do parts. Yeah, I'm going to just do parts. Because there's like sections. So there's like one section, section two. Oh, wait, it's not even in sections. Well, I'm just going to do. Yeah, I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, wait, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did it even say what year it is? Dang it, this is going to be hard. I don't like how the study guide is formed. The blanks are too small to like write on. 1913. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm going to do 11 parts. And I'm going to name it as it was. Alright. So yeah, I'm going to pronounce like the answers of the blanks 2 times so that I know that that's what's important. Alright, we're going to do 11 parts and hopefully it won't stop at all because if it does, I'm going to restart that section. Alright, here we go. Take 2. Hopefully no more takes. Western settlement. Mineral strikes lure people west. Gold, gold, silver, copper. Open range use of Texas Longhorn. Cattle drives. Barbed wire. Barbed wire helped bring an end to open range cattle drives. 1862. Homestead Act. Homestead Act. Settler obtained title to up to 160 acres by paying a $10 registration fee and living on land for 5 years, entitled settler to ownership. Government encouraged wild settlers to move west. All right, that's section 1. There's some short sections and some sections are very long. U.S. History Study Guide. Western Western Settlement. U.S. History Study Guide. Let me. Dang it! Let me listen to this. See how it sounds. Western settlements. Mineral strikes lure people west. Gold, gold, silver, copper. Open range use of Texas longhorn. Cattle drives. I forgot. I'm gonna listen to this through the earbuds. So I want to listen. I gotta listen. See how good it is. Okay. I think it's better if I just do sections. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I because if I did like a whole video or a whole voice recorder of all this, and if I'm at a question that talks about it, how can I find that section? Okay, good thing good thing I was thinking right. All right. There's 11 sections. Second one. All right. I'm gonna put this right here. All right, here we go. Presidents: James Garfield, 1881; Chester Arthur, 1881 to 1885; Grover Cleveland, 1885 to 1889. Wounded Knee, Sand Creek Indian Massacres, 1887. Dawes Act, Dawes Act, allotted each Indian household 160 acres of reservation land to farm. Remaining land would be sold to whites and the money placed in a trust fund for Native Americans. Tried to make farmers of Native Americans. It failed. Up to 1860, the tariff is the main source of the government revenue. All right, that's section 2. It's getting kind of dark a little bit, so I can move the camera up slightly because I don't want that window, a little too bright. So I will turn on the lights. I think this might be a good idea. James Garfield. Chester Arthur. All right. I'm going to turn on the light. It's getting a little dark. All right. This is a lot better. All right, section 3. Gonna be a little long though. All right, here we go. Industrial America and labor unions. Alexander Graham Bell, telephone. Thomas Edison, influence of light bulb. Gustavus Swift, refrigerated freight cars impact. Thomas Scholes, typewriter. Transcontinental, Transcontinental Railroad, Union Pacific hired Irish immigrants. Civil War vets, Central Pacific hired Chinese immigrants. 1869 met at Promontory Point, Utah. Robber barons, robber robber barons, railroad entrepreneurs who were perceived as being greedy and corrupt. Identify the following with their business: John D. Rockefeller, Rockefeller, Oil, Refining Standard Oil, Cornel- Cornelius Vanderbilt, Vanderbilt, Railroad Consolidation, J.P. Morgan, Morgan, Investment Banking, Laissez-faire, Laissez-faire, Government, Hands off, little or no government regulation of U.S. businesses. Andrew Carnegie, Carnegie, Horizontal integration, vertical integration, monopolies, trusts, holding companies. Labor unions, unions, growth, unhealthy, working conditions, repetitive, repetitive work. 1865 to 1897, deflation. Two types: trade union, craftsmen, industrial unions, craft workers and common workers. Tactics used by businesses to prevent labor unions. Oath of loyalty, hired undercover detectives, blacklisting, lockout. Labor union tactics, strikers, strikers, boycotts. No laws allowed workers to unionize labor leaders identified with Marxism and anarchism. Late 1800s major strikes. Great Railroad Strike, Haymarket Riot, hurt labor's reputation more. Pullman Strike, Knights of Labor, First Nationwide Industrial Union, AFL. Uh, closed shops, closed shops, unions forced businesses to hire only union members. Strengthened the union. Okay, that was section 3. I think this is like the only way that can help me. Because the test is not going to be like the study guide. Like to the teacher, he said the study guide is to help you refresh your memory. That's what that is. All right, here we go. Section 4. This is not going to take too long. All right. Immigration, late 1800s. 1890s. More than half of all immigrants in the U.S. were from Eastern and Southern Europe. 14 million Eastern European Jewish immigrants, 1860 to 1900. Ellis, Ellis Island, European immigrants processed. Angel, Angel Island, Asian immigrants processed. Growth of cities, tenements, skyscrapers, mass transit. 1882, Chinese Exclusion Act. Chinese Exclusion Act banned Chinese immigrants for 10 years, prevented Chinese in America from becoming U.S. citizens. Permanent in 1902, repealed 1942. Political machines. Tammany Hall, William Boss Tweed. Services in exchange for votes. Votes. Okay. See, this is why I don't want this to be live because I'll get distracted by the chat. So I apologize. Today's not the day. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Okay. Here we go. Glided age and political reform. Individualism. Horatio Alger Alger. Rags to Riches novels. Social Darwinism, survival of the fittest in society, gospel of wealth, phila- philanthropy, philanthropy, social gospel movement, 1870 to 1920, Salvation Army, YMCA, settlement houses, Jane Addams and Whole House. Settlement houses provide education, aid to immigrants. Growth of public schools, Americanization prepares future workers, free public libraries. 1890, Sherman Antitrust Act, attempt to regulate monopolies, ineffective. Populism, populism, political movement by farmers to unite and fight unfair business practices, high railroad rates, etc. Problems faced by farmers. Post 1860 farm prices dropped. It stopped. I hate that. This voice recorder is a piece of crap. Gotta be kidding me. It just stops for no reason, like a dick. Whatever. Maybe next time it won't. Glided age and political reform. Individualism. Horatio Alger. Rags to Riches novels. Social Darwinism. Survival of the fittest in society. Gospel of wealth. philanthropy, social gospel movement, 1870 to 1920, Salvation Army, YMCA, settlement houses, Jane Addams in Whole House, settlement houses provided education aid to immigrants. Growth of public schools, Americanization, prepares future workers, free public libraries. 1890, Sherman Antitrust Act, attempt to regulate monopolies, ineffective. Populism, political movement by farmers to unite and fight unfair business practices, high railroad rates, etc. That's populism. Problems faced by farmers. Post 1860 farm prices dropped due to technology. High tariffs raised price of equipment and railroads set high freight charges. Freight charges. Deflation due to money supply. Interstate Commerce Act 1887. Okay. Finally, it then stopped. Political. One, two, three, four. Okay. All right, here we go. Presidents: Benjamin Harrison, 1889 to 1893. Grover Cleveland, 1893 to 1897. William McKinley, 1897 to 1891. The Grange, the Farmers Alliance, People's Party, Populist Party, called for silver coinage. Gold bugs versus silver rights. 1896 election. Democrats and populists supported William Jennings Bryan, pro-Silverite, versus William McKinley, Front Porch Campaign. 1896, Plessy versus Ferguson, separate but equal, established Jim Crow laws, de facto segregation in North. Poll taxes, literacy tests used to deny blacks the right to vote. Ida B. Wells, Memphis Free Speech newspaper, wrote against lynching in U.S. Booker T. Washington versus W.E.B. Du Bois, Washington believed African Americans should focus on education and job training more than gaining immediate civil rights. Atlanta Compromise. Dubois advocated immediate demand for civil rights. Okay. This is a lot better. Oh my gosh, I don't care, notifications. Okay. U.S. imperialism. Imperialism, imperialism, economic and political domination of strong country over weaker nations. Reasons for U.S. imperialism: new markets, su- superiority, Anglo-Saxonism, Josiah Strong, the white man's burden, Kipling's defense explanation of imperialism, annexation of Hawaii. Alfred T. Mahan wrote a book called For Development of a Large and Modern U.S. Navy to Protect U.S. Merchant Trade Ships and Defend U.S. Trade Rights. Would require coaling stations. Teddy Roosevelt, Big Stick, Big Stick, diplomacy. Spanish-American War. Causes: yellow, yellow, journalism. USS Maine, Maine, explosion, Delome letter, jingoism. US gets Guam, Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico, Philippines. Cuba gets independence. Become. It stopped in 27 seconds. I hate this voice recorder. It just controls by itself. Alright, this one's a short one. Spanish-American War. Causes: yellow, yellow, journalism. USS Maine, Maine, explosion, Delome letter, jingoism. US gets Guam, Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico, Philippines. Cuba gets independence. Become US protectorate. Joseph Pulitzer, William Randolph Hearst, yellow journalism. Rough Riders. Rough Riders. Most famous fighting unit of Spanish-American War, led by Leonard Wood, with second in command Teddy Roosevelt, took part in the Battle of San Juan Hill. Platt, with double T's, Platt Amendment. Cuba becomes an American protectorate. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We should have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we do. President Theodore Roosevelt, 18 or 1901 to 1909. William H. Taft, 1909 to 1913. Imperialism. Cause: new markets for U.S. goods. Anglo-Saxonism. Social Darwinism. Alfred T. Mayhem called for modernizing U.S. Navy to avoid being shut out of foreign markets. Open door policy. McKinley T. Roosevelt. U.S. policy that stated that all countries should be allowed to trade with China. Great White Great White Fleet T. Roosevelt. U.S. Navy was sent around the world to show America's might, part of Teddy Roosevelt's big stick diplomacy. Theodore Roosevelt, Gentleman's Agreement, U.S. and Japan. Theodore Roosevelt and Japan Agreement, U.S. would be less restrictive, discriminatory towards Asian Americans in California if Japan would allow less Japanese immigration to the U.S. Northern Securities, Boxer Rebellion, Platt Amendment, Panama Canal. America buys the right to build and control Panama Canal. U.S. will control the canal until 1999. Roosevelt Colorally, Corallary, to Monroe Doctrine, policy that the U.S. would collect debts of Latin American nations on behalf of Europe. TR sent Marines to collect debts. The Square Deal, Big Stick Policy, Dollar Diplomacy, policy of William H. Taft. U.S. uses less military intervention in Latin America and more reliance on economic cooperation with Latin America. Progressivism, 1890 to 1919. America moves from laissez-faire to more government involvement. Political movement to reform change. Facets of society led by the middle class. Called for government to play more active role in solving problems. Muckrakers. 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 Upton Sinclair. The Jungle. About meat packing industry. Jacob Rees How the Other Half Lives. How the Poor Lived in New York City, NYC. Ida Tarbell wrote about business corporation and Standard Oil. Progressive era reforms. Commission plan for city government initiatives, referendums, referendums, recall elections. Robert La Follette's Wisconsin idea, direct primaries, direct election of senators, zoning laws, worker compensation laws, building codes, health codes, temperance, Pure Food and Drug Act, Commission and City Manager of Local Government. The 13th, abolished slavery. Slavery. 14th, identified U.S. citizens and claimed protection for all U.S. citizens. 15th, gave black men to gave, sorry, gave black men the right to vote. Vote. 16th Amendment gave Congress the right to impose income taxes. Taxes. 17th Amendment gave citizens the right of direct election of U.S. senators. 18th Amendment prohibition 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 made manufacture, selling, drinking of alcohol illegal. 19th Amendment women's suffrage gave women the right to vote. Niagara Falls Conference led by W.E.B. Du Bois led to creation of NAACP 1909. Note the debate about different tactics of Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois. Clayton Antitrust Act 1914 stopped corporations from unfair practices, gave labor unions the right to exist. That was President Woodrow Wilson, 1913, 1921. Oh, this sucks. This is so much. President Woodrow Wilson, 1913, 1921. World War I, 1914 to 1919. Causes: Alliance System, Balkans Crisis, Nationalism, Assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand by Serbian nationalists. German U-boats, U-BOATS, sinking of Lusitania, Lusitania. Sussex Pledge, Germany resumes sub-warfare. 1917, Zimmermann telegram, German government attempt to get Mexico to attacked the U.S. in exchange. Germany would return Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas to Mexico. March 1917, Germans sink 4 U.S. merchant ships. Triple intent, intent, entente, Entente. France, Russia, Great Britain, Italy joined 1915. U.S. joins 1917. Triple alliance, Germany, Austria-Hungary, Italy, Central Powers, post 1915. Germany, Austria-Hungary, Ottomans, Bulgaria, tactics, trench warfare, rapid-fire machine guns, poison gas, battles, Verdun, Chateau, uh, Thierry, 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 Argonne, Forest, Marne. War Industries Board, Daylight Savings Times, Victory Gardens, Bonds, Detective, Service, Espionage Act, 1917, punished anyone who gave aid to our enemies, interfered, interfered with war effort. Sedition Act, 1918, made it illegal to publicly be opposed to the war. Uh, Schenck versus U.S. 1919. U.S. may curb free speech in wartime. Treaty of Versailles, Versailles. Germany stripped of army, forced to pay $33 billion to allies. Admit guilt for the war, humiliation. The Big Four, Great Britain, France, U.S., Italy meet to decide aftermath of the war. Wilson's 14 points called for a League of Nations to be created. U.S. failure to join League of Nations. Henry Cabot Lodge and the reservationists. Post World War I, labor unrest, the Red Scare, Palmer raids presidents, Warren G. Harding, 1921 to 1923, Calvin Coolidge, 1923 to 1929, return to normalcy. This is the last one. I think so. We should be at 10, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or no. Sorry, miscount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, what? How are we at 9? I don't get that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or wait, no. 9. There we go. That's 9. That's 10. Okay, here we go. I miscount. All right, last one. 1920s, the Jazz Age. Roaring 20s. Fundamentalism versus the new morality. Nativism, name given to hostility of native-born Americans to new immigrants. Sacco Vanzetti case, 1920. Italian immigrants accused and convicted of killing a night guard. Some say mainly accused because they were immigrants. Resurgence of KKK hired PR experts. Decline late 1920s. Emergency Quota Act, 1921. Limited immigration. Set number allowed in. Immigration now based on ethnic origin. The Great Migration. African Americans moved to northern cities during World War I. The Harlem Renaissance. A flowering of African American arts in the North. Zora Neale Hurston stories set in Florida showed African American culture. Second is Louis Armstrong. Improvisational style of jazz based on Dixieland ragtime. Number 3, Duke Ellington, mixed jazz with orchestration. Number 4, Langston Hughes, Hughes, poet Laurette, Laureate, of Harlem, described plight of African Americans. The Cotton Club most famous Harlem night spot. Blacks gained more political power in the North. Oscar the Price, first African American elected to House of Representatives in the North, 1928. Black nationalism, Negro nationalism, glorified black culture and traditions. Led by Marcus Garvey, UNIA, Universal Negro Improvement Association, based in Harlem, advocated separation and economic independence. Back to Africa movement never achieved. Garvey arrested and deported. And that is it for the study guide. Perfect timing because my parents are going to come back. Fundamentalism versus the new mor morality. Alright, so that's 11 parts. The first section took 54 seconds, second, a minute, 4 seconds, third, 3 minutes and 54 seconds, the fourth, 1 minute, 40 seconds, the fifth, 2 minutes and 13 seconds, the sixth, 2 minutes and 24 seconds, the seventh was pretty long. Oh, wait, no. Wait, which one am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I'm sorry. Seventh is short, 1 minute 31 seconds. The eighth is 1 minute 26 seconds. The ninth is the longest, 17 minutes. Or no, not 17. 7 minutes and 17 seconds. Wait. I count wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, the ninth is 7 minutes, 17 seconds. The 10th is 5 minutes. And the last and 11th is 3 minutes and 53 seconds. So I got to re-listen to these quite a bit. I just don't like having 4 midterms tomorrow. Why? Why is it like that? I got other stuff to do. That project. Damn it. I need a drink. All that talking. Let's turn off the TV. I gotta contact my friend about the project. Considerable time talking about times, and they've been very close. We've measured them at a very detailed level. And when you look at it again, when we look at the protocol, they're both conference champions. They both have similar schedule strengths, so we're into a lot of other elements. And those elements are, we're talking about win against a number 5 or what was a number 4 Georgia team, or win against what was a number 8 Wisconsin team. You're evaluating offenses, again, quality quarterback play, Joe Burrow, a difference maker, Chase Young, a difference maker. All those things are part of the conversation. It's been every week. And again, all right. Good thing I have these recordings. This is what I hope that doesn't happen. The teacher takes our phones on the midterm. I'm going to eat a little snack. I'm going to do some of the speech. Because the speech is more important to me, because it's worth 250 points. But the U.S. history test is 100 points. Now, 250 points, that's way more important than 100 points, because 250 is double, is more than double. It's 150 points more. So I kind of have to focus on that too. I just wish I didn't have to do both tomorrow. I'm gonna test some stuff here. Sorry if I was talking so much, reading all that. That seems kind of weird, right? But that is what I have to do. Yeah, I might let this record for until it reaches 3 hours. So another hour and 50 minutes. Because this records up to 3 hours, and I think it will take the whole 3 hours, most likely. I gotta test some stuff out. I gotta do some cutting and pasting, so. Okay, it's gonna print something. I'm just testing this out. Oh, there it went. I was like, wait a minute. It took like a 10-second delay. Okay, good. It's working. Shit. Fuck. Sorry. I'm gonna wait for my friend for this project. In the meantime, I'm gonna do the law studies real quick. I just don't like how we have to do all four tomorrow. That's so stupid. That's too much. That's too fucking much to handle. It's like we're taking the ACT all day, you know? I'm just gonna get this. I'm gonna do the law studies really fast. Just get this over with. Chapter 1. Go to chapter 1. Oops. This book's really cool. I just don't have time to read it. Use chapter 1. For the following 10 questions, use the book located on your desk. Go to chapter 1. Okay. So this is like vocabulary. I don't know. I think it might be. All right. This is a lot. I think these has vocabulary words. Study of crap.
In terms of protecting the football. And in a game like this, you just can't give Burrow and that offense extra shots. The other thing, too, if you looked at the Ole Miss game in particular, I know it was a week after Bama. I know that was kind of a buzz.
I think I found. Oh, yeah, it's in here.
Because they rolled in the first half. They were up like 40 in the first half. But John Rice Plumlee, the quarterback for Ole Miss, did account for over 200 yards out the lanes. They ran for over 400 as a team. So if there's one thing that I think LSU really needs to show up, is stopping the quarterback run game. So you know that's going to be a big part of the plan for the yearly advance to the college football playoff. Jalen Hurts down 28-3 at one point to Baylor leads them to a season-saving win. But everybody's familiar with him by now. How Jalen got to Oklahoma.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Jalen Hurts doesn't say it. He tells us plenty on TV screen.
Yeah, this is not much. That's what we all like. It's not much.
He seems cool and collected. But there's 2 years of highs and lows working away just beneath the surface. Maybe that's why he doesn't engage much in the hype machine. He's seen enough to know it's
I'm gonna make this blue.
He held the most prestigious job in college.
Study of law and legal philosophy. Dude, I should probably voice record this too, just in case. It's safe than sorry. Oh, they're here. Yep, they're here. Parents are here.
If Jalen Hurts going to be great in that situation, or is Oklahoma going to go 8-4 like fire league unquestioned leader? Now he's at Oklahoma, and his replaying is all those crazy balls. So don't let the classic exterior fool you. Watch your television closely. There's a ferocity in this one, a determination, a rage. It says he has gained something new. In addition to all that he's reaching.
I'm gonna wait until they come.
He's revealing his truest self. The one who takes the field. The one who gets knocked down.
If this video stops, I might do a second part.
Without much to say, but the clock's ticking.
It was bad. That was fun. Yeah.
Shall go.
Eventually, or
Again?
yeah,
Y'all just went there.
yeah, but some other stuff. They have a lot of stuff in there. We went to the nice Christmas lightning. Yeah. Okay. You can just do your thing and
Yep.
I'll make sure.
Alright.
Congratulations, first of all. How badly did you want to be the #1 seed in this college football playoff?
You know, it doesn't matter. Anytime, anywhere, anybody, we're ready to play. So, we're going to be playing Oklahoma, great football team. Whatever they call us to play, we're going to show up. We will be ready.
Right, Thompson, thank you. Jalen Hurts used to the big stage. And Orgeron, you know, is going to be used to Jalen Hurts. But oh, by the way, with the exception of 2014, the first year of the college football playoff, no team has won the national championship in their inaugural step into the college football playoff. So history is against Ed Orgeron and LSU. Coach O'Carroll and Chris Davis this afternoon.
Please be joined on the phone by the head coach of the LSU Tigers, Ed Orgeron. Ed, congratulations. First of all, how badly did you want to be the #1 seed in this college football playoff?
Right, Thompson, thank you. Jalen Hurts used to the big stage. And Orgeron, you know, is going to be used to Jalen Hurts. But oh, by the way, with the exception of 2014, the first year of the college football playoff, no team has won the national championship in their inaugural step into the college football playoff. So history is against Ed Orgeron and LSU. Coach O'Carroll and Chris Davis this afternoon.
Please be joined on the phone by the head coach of the LSU Tigers, Ed Orgeron. Ed, congratulations. First of all, how badly did you want to be the #1 seed in this college football playoff?
You know, it doesn't matter. Anytime, anywhere, anybody, we're ready to play. So, you know, we're going to be playing Oklahoma, a great football team. Wherever they tell us to play, we're going to show up. We'll be ready.
But they're going to tell you to show up in Atlanta, and you'll get to go back here. Now you have this 3-week break. How much planning have you done in terms of how you'll handle the time leading up and trying to get your team to peak at the right moment in the playoff game?
Yeah. First of all, I had my first home visit this morning, truly. I had 2 other home visits today. I'll be in about 18 homes this week, so we're going for truly great time. But the great first week will give the players a week off, and we'll start preparation next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Let us go for Christmas and come back and practice a couple days here in Seattle, wherever we'll tell us to go.
Now, you're in the middle of this, Ed, and you and I spent some time together this summer. We were watching you talking about Brady and Earl, both of these game changers. At what point have you at least even taken a second to step back and appreciate the transformation, the change, and the accomplishment thus far for your program?
You know, obviously, the season just ended. Our goal was to go to the SEC championship and win a couple of our goals. I was going to the road before you show up and think about it this week, but we're not done yet. That wasn't our final destination. I'm very proud of all of them. I'm very proud of my defense and all our coaches. But we still have work to do.
Wayne Rollins is still an offensive guru himself. Your defense seems to be playing its best ball right now. What has improved about your defense over the last couple of games?
So first of all, we have to develop something, get a better pass rush. There's things that play like we tackle better. Coach Lorenzo Johnson, our defense out of all this game, and our guys are responsible. They play for Jim Wishu. We play LSU defense. I'm very proud of them.
Hey, Coach O, it's Kirk. I just want to ask you one thing about Joe again. You've been around a lot of great quarterbacks. You've had him on your team. You've tried to defend him. From an intangible standpoint, what has he meant to this 2019 Tigers team?
Your leadership, he leads everything, and he came in here a leader. By example, very quiet. Our players believe in him. The plays that he makes on his feet, the connection that he has with the receiver, our guys believe that he can score at any time.
Hey, Ed, are there any recruits in New York City that you could visit while you're up there watching Joe Burrow collect the Heisman next week?
I'm sure if there is, I'll find it.
Congratulations, my friend. Best of luck in the playoff, and I look forward to seeing you next week in New York City.
Hey, thank you for everything, guys. You've been great all season. Go back.
Here's what I love about Ed Orgeron. I mean, we could sit up here all day and talk about head coaches who love their job and love their school. But I don't think there's anybody in the country connected to their job as much as Ed Orgeron is with the LSU Tigers. Let's start with you, Coach. What does he bring to that program that's now elevated them to one of the best in the country?
Great confidence. And you said it, a great love for that state and that program and those young men that play for him. He's always deflected praise. I think he's given his players a real sense of confidence. I think they trust him. And trust is so important when you're a head coach. Your young men have to believe that what you tell them is the truth. And because of that confidence, they go out and play fast. what's amazing is he has checked his ego at the door completely, and so have members of the staff. And Steve Ensminger, in this whole situation, the offensive coordinator, he's still calling the plays, by the way, but who are we talking about? Joe Brady. The entire staff has completely checked their ego at the door. They say, hey, we are all in for each other. And I feel like that culture has been
What the heck's going on?
percolating throughout the corners of the roster. And as a result, the group is extremely close. They have great relationships between players to the staff, to the administration. They're all connected. And it's really remarkable how hard they
Man, enough of these notifications.
they always seem to have each other's back. When you see Jacob Eagle,
What the freak, dude?
a complete transformation of person. What was a tire fire a little bit. Yeah. And he had to go back. He had to interim at USC.
Oh, hello.
Just saying howdy.
Howdy, partner. Yep.
How's everything been here at the Long Branch?
What? Wow. Yep. Yep.
That's what he does best. Recruiting and motivating, and to have coordinators that can handle all of that stuff on the offensive, defensive side. I know he still coaches the defensive line and he's involved, but he is focusing on what he does best. Todd's hit the nail on the head when he said motivating. An athlete follows the temperament of the coach. If the coach is cool, the athlete's cool. If the coach is worried, the athlete is worried. If the coach knows they're about to win a ball game, then the athlete knows they're about to win a ball game. I remember Coach Owen before one of the big time games, he said, we coming, but then he said, we ain't backing down. And I was about ready to run through a wall. And by no means did I play for LSU. When he said that, the players followed that. When the coach says that, the players follow that. Death Valley. Yeah. Where dreams come down. Like if you don't understand, honestly, and I hate using the phrase, you've never been in a locker room, but unless you've been in those pads and you're looking your coach in the eye, and he tells you like, hey, we ain't backing down. And it's just man to man, and it's everything you've worked for, from training camp, to offensive workouts, to the weight room, to the sled, to all the grinding, and your coach looks at you in that moment and tells you like, hey, the time is now. How you gonna lose? You can't lose. And he punches himself in the face. Yeah. He rips his shirt off. But look, this is a coach who, when he was named interim with Les Miles got caused Eddie Curry this job. It was a bit of an eyebrow raise because we knew about the flirtations with Tom Herman. But this is a guy now who probably can stay at this job as long as. And when we talked to him, he said, when I got that interim job, everything that Les did, I'm doing the opposite of that. And frankly, he is the antithesis of Les Miles and being willing to adapt and change. And look at the result. It's been a remarkable story. Coach Ed Orgeron has his pride of Louisiana in the college football playoff for the first time in program history. Don't panic. The Rose Bowl, Big Ten, Pac-12, that is protected, and it's a good matchup between Wisconsin and Oregon. We'll break that down and more coming up on Championship. It's a good time to be a doer. Now your phone not only knows what that thing is, but where that thing is. Lockers are no longer just for gym shoes. Tile work has moved beyond guesswork. And if you can't run to the store can run to you. Welcome to today's Home Depot. How doers get more done. Let's just be all about the artist awareness. From all the problems. The Corona Hotline is back, and so am I. Let's go to the phones. Corona Hotline, we're all here. Hey, Tony, every time I leave the room, my team starts playing better. I'm not going back in there. Superstitious, huh? No. Come on. How many games in a row have we worn those socks? 5. For a good game, the only game they originally need is not those breakfast. No. Limes and Coronas. Yeah, I like that better. Yeah, you do. Bye-bye. It's like the old game day beach. Introducing a razor that works differently. The Gillette Skin Guard has a guard between the blades that helps protect skin. The
Gillette skate guard.
At the Ram Big Finish event, we're giving the ultimate gift. Employee pricing for all. So you can drive the only pickups that make the season shine brighter. Carry more gifts. And bring the magic of the holidays to everyone in the back-to-back Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Get the gifts that have it all with employee pricing for all.
With employee pricing for all, purchasing at $9,646 in total values for 20% below MSRP on the 2019 Ram 1500.
This doesn't feel like memory foam. This feels amazing, right? What is it?
Actually, it's called Purple, and it's a completely unique comfort technology, meticulously designed to cradle and support the human body.
Cool.
For the holidays, buy a mattress and get a free premium gift one. See yours today at purple.com/TV.
They are playing for the Dr. Pepper's Championship Trophy and hanging out this morning at the Gaylord Texan out there in DFW, America. Kind of a Winter Wonderland backboard is what it's all about. Just there, South Lake Carroll, former stomping ground. What about the Rose Bowl, Northwestern Mutual Rose Bowl games going to be played between Oregon and Wisconsin? These teams met in the Rose Bowl 9 years ago. The Ducks went away victorious over the Badgers. And this week, everyone each of their last 5 bowl games. All right, let's talk about these teams. Oregon and Wisconsin played in their respective conference championship games. We saw what Oregon did to Utah. Wisconsin at 1400 against Ohio State Buckeyes. We went to come back and win. But I think Wisconsin changed a lot of people's minds about them on Saturday night with what they were able to do. Jonathan Taylor, one of the best running backs in the country. What kind of problems does he face?
He's an issue, and there's no doubt. And there's one thing that I think is a little bit lost is this offensive line has done a great job all year. Now, okay, so they gave up 4 sacks to Chase Young, and that's what everyone wants to remember. But this running game, yes, is Taylor the bell cow? His involvement now as a receiver has made it a little bit more dynamic. But this offensive line has been as good collectively as just about anybody in college football throughout the course of the season.
And we saw the difference in the production from Taylor, too. When you go back and look at the last couple of years compared to this year, the offensive line was dominated the line of scrimmage, and that allowed him to get some room to go make some plays. And I think that's going to be the big key here. Oregon, everyone thinks Oregon, fast pace, tempo, speed, Chip Kelly, all that other stuff.
That's your dad's Oregon.
Exactly. It's a physical football team. This is going to be an old school battle.
You're talking about the 10th ranked rushing defense in the United States. I mean, this is a physical oriented football team. They've got Justin Herbert who can make plays, but you know what they do? They depend on the run game. For Denver to have 1,500 yards against one of the top defenses in the country will be a tough Friday night. So I think it's going to be an old-fashioned fist fight. I'm a big so we think about Oregon. We don't think an old-fashioned fist fight. Watch this team. This is good football.
I'll smack you in the mouth.
Absolutely.
He's a freshman. I mean, that's a player, when you look at style of play around the country, he's the kind of kid we're used to seeing play that side.
No doubt about it. I think when you talk about Oregon, talking about a physical team, you're talking about a team that can multi-threat you, but can also beat you up inside the telephone booth. But when you look at both teams, you can argue, disregard resume for a second. Let's take the paper, let's throw them over our shoulders. These are 2 teams that can argue they're the 4th best team in college football as well, right? With Oregon, they could make that argument. Wisconsin, they could make that argument. Like, they could argue that they're just as good as outside of the top 3, they could be considered. Now, to get back to Jonathan Taylor, as a linebacker, when you're going up against the running back, you're worried about 2 things. Can he run you over, and can he outrun you? Right? Usually, if you see a guy that can run you over, but he can't outrun you, you're all right. You see a guy that can outrun you, can't run you over, you're going to be all right. But then you see Jonathan Taylor, and he can both run you over, and he can give you a little wiggle and take it to the house. That's why he's such a complete back. There is no game plan. Let's just make sure we take care of the A gaps and B gaps. We're going to find a gap that he's going to eat. Oregon's going to have their hands full. Who do you like in this game?
I like Oregon. I
to really happy to be there. And that, this being the year, and all these seniors having built up for this moment, the core seniors along the offensive line, Justin Herbert, who's a local kid, you just feel like they're going to give you a statement performance in their college football game. So I like Oregon because, like what you said, they're really good in the trenches as well. And I think this is a sign of what's coming. This Oregon team is on the way up. Even though they're in the Rose Bowl already, the trajectory and the arrow, the way they're recruiting, this is going to be an every year good thing, I think, in the years to come.
Yeah, I think both teams will enjoy this game. I think it's just in Wisconsin's DNA to show up to play games, doesn't matter what they're playing. You know, they want to play football. I think that's why they've been so successful. But while I think Justin Herbert is a much better talent than a football player right now at the quarterback position, he still gives them an edge because of his ability, both with his legs and with his arm. They just need to cut him loose a little bit, I think. And let's see what he can do.
Yeah, and as for me, I think it's going to be a great matchup. I get the edge to Wisconsin because of what Chase said. They just like to play football. And when you're talking about bowl games, who's the more talented team? That doesn't always matter. Who actually wants to play around here? Yeah, because this game is 3 weeks from now. And in terms of talking about this, I mean, you're talking about 18 to 22-year-old kids. Who really wants to be there? I think Oregon for sure should want to be there. You know, Jim Levin's going to have that beat some part of Jonathan Taylor, more than likely his last game. I just give the edge to Wisconsin. It's going to be a hard fight.
I will tell you, and coaches might dispute this cross touch. We could argue there's a team that doesn't know their DNA more than Wisconsin. They are been that way forever. Let's talk about the All-State Sugar Bowl. You got Baylor and Georgia. This is a good matchup, and a couple of programs just came up short in their respective conference championship games. But I want to focus on Baylor for a minute and the job that Matt Rhule has been able to do with this program. He joins us now, calling us in here on Championship Drive. Coach, we appreciate your time. I know you're busy. First of all, congratulations on a remarkable season. As you woke up this morning, you had a chance to assess what you've been able to do. What's it mean to have Baylor in a New Year's Six game and the All-State Sugar Bowl?
Well, I think it's so huge for our players, so huge for our program. We would have loved to have won the game yesterday against a great Oklahoma team, and really played as well as possibly could play in a lot of areas. You know, one play short, but I think our guys, I know the guys this morning before I head down the road recruiting, and I talked about the possibility of being able to get the sugar bowl, and our guys understand what it means to play in the sugar bowl, what it means to play a great opponent like Georgia. They're so excited for that opportunity, and I know Baylor's going to show up and they're going to be ready to go.
Coach, we sat in your office weeks after you took the job in Waco, and I flat out asked you why you did it, why you take the job. You said because I have an idea of where I think this program deserves to belong. How have you gotten that to this place?
Well, I think it really just comes down to, and I'll start with our players. Our senior class, those guys that went out there and they're going to go out there and represent us in the All-State Sugar Bowl. At one point, they had lost 16 or 18 games at the end of their freshman year, beginning of their sophomore year, and they didn't quit, they didn't panic, they just kept working. And now there's a bunch of future pros and NFL players.
You want some pasta for your dinner?
All right.
Shrimp and Alfredo.
Yep.
You feel like okay, I'll cook you some, okay? But then I will still cook.
All
We
right.
ate a buffet in New Orleans.
All right.
Yeah. Some still cook. That was fun. I'll show you all the picture later.
All right.
Yeah.
And you know what? It wasn't very easy to do that. I knew that when I sat there and talked to you.
Where's the
But
shrimp?
the people that come together, the sacrifice that we can really do, I'm really proud to take them to New Orleans, and hopefully this will be the beginning of something really special here.
In your two games against Oklahoma, you certainly gave me your best shot. You had the first one at Waco up 28-3, and then the Big 12 championship yesterday. If you're kind of giving a scouting report of the Oklahoma Sooners ahead of the college football playoff,
Well, I think offensively, it's really twofold. It starts with Jalen Hurts and also CeeDee Lamb. Yesterday, they got a lot of extended drives against us, but a couple of really big plays by CeeDee. And I don't know if there's a finer receiver after the catch in the country than he is. We're probably one of the best tackling teams in the nation, and he gave us this. And I have a lot of respect for the way he plays. And Jalen is a tremendous runner, can improvise, make big throws down the field. And they are on one team. They're going to try to ground and pound. And it's not
struck me is that the Big 12 people think of it. We're sitting up here on the set thinking the Big 12 is typically 56-51 who has the ball last wins. But since you've been in the league, what have you noticed about the style of play that has come out of that conference over the last couple of years?
Yeah, you know, when I first got in the league, I was listening to the narrative, and I expected to do that. And I got here and I found out that to me, it's one of the most pro-style leagues there is. I mean, there's RPO games, there's one team, there's tempo occasionally, but it's a lot of checking, there's a lot of quarterback getting their people in the right place. And I think it's really, really being grown now. There's a lot of teams that believe in running the football. There's a lot of teams that Cooper Hubbard's one of the best running backs in the country at Oklahoma State. You think of Oklahoma State, you can say they have quarterbacks and receivers, but they're a running team. So I think when people really dive in and look at the Big 12, it is a pro-style run the football league. Defense is improving at an alarming rate, a really good rate if you're in the league. And see what Oklahoma's done to play every team in the league every year, to play the Big 12 championship game and have to play a rematch. That's really hard to do. And I really hope that they play well in their playoff game.
Coach Ben Malacho here. First and foremost, congrats on a phenomenal season. From 1-11 2 years ago to now an 11-win season, going to the Sugar Bowl, when you look over your tenure thus far, what are you most proud of?
Well, I'm proud of what our guys have done on and off the field. You know, last year was the bowl game, and we were second all the way to Clemson in terms of college graduates. And then this year, you know, they have 14 college graduates on the team right now, more coming here in the next couple weeks. They have 10 guys in graduate school. You know, there was a narrative out there which was true. I mean, not true, but there was a coming on the heels of a scandal. So there was this idea of, hey, who are the guys that are there? And you know, we have elite kids, we have elite young men, guys that do things right in the classroom, guys that do things right in the community, and so to finally see them grow up. And we're first or second in the league in every defensive category. It's not new players, none of us are transfers, none of us are new recruits. It's the same guys that were there when we were 1-11. And all they've done is grind, all they've done is work hard. We never made excuses. We just hung together. And to me, that's what football is about. And in the great state of Texas, there are so many great recruits. There are such great football. And I think our guys are really, they're really standing up for their state and saying, hey, you can play defense, you can run the football, you can do it right on and off the field. I'm proud to be out there with those guys.
Coach Greg McElroy, congrats on a great year. What a breakthrough. It's no secret that getting to the top of the mountain is extremely challenging, but staying at the top of the mountain is even more difficult in a lot of ways. Now that you guys have broken through and the transition is probably inevitable, you're going to shift from the hunter to the hunted in the Big 12. How do you anticipate your guys handling that shift, knowing that you're going to get everyone's best shot moving forward, knowing the breakthrough you guys had this season?
Yeah, that's really hard. And it's funny, it started to happen in the middle of the year. Guys would come off the traveling break and be like, hey, it's not the same defense we practice. And so we had, and it was long enough. You know, it wasn't about playing one more every day, but let's just, you know, get some scout team reps in. I mean, they game planned you. They're throwing stuff at you. And so I think it's the culture we're trying to build. I mean, we're never going to be a flashy place. We're never going to be a place that's built on things other than we're a football place. You know, and so we want our guys to really understand the game. And so when you get in these games, we went out there yesterday and no excuses, but I'm sure the guy that led our ship all year probably through our nose now. So Gary Bohannon comes in, he goes down, and you've got a kid out there. It's first season, minus 5 minutes left, and we call the screen now that he's never even thrown that ball. But, you know, he comes in and he wants to do on his own. And he stands behind the quarterbacks when they're getting reps, and he takes mental reps. He gets on the virtual reality, and he takes the reps. Because the most of he's out there with a good 12 games on the line, he takes it down the field. And so that's just the culture we want to have. Because we have that as people come at us, as people try to attack us, as people want to, as people, you know, they're blessings this week. They're not going to just concede to us now. They're going to come right back. I hope our local football and our process will stand tall.
Hey, Coach, it's been fun to watch you guys this year. Congratulations on a remarkable season. Happy holidays to you. Best of luck the rest of the way. And save you a seat at the barbecue joint out there in Waco.
Jasper's is waiting on you, my friend.
Matt Rule, head coach of Baylor Bears, joining us. What a remarkable season and turnaround it's been for that program. Still still ahead on championship drive. Ohio State and Clemson. Any other year, this might be a national championship. This is the college football semifinal. We'll break it down tomorrow.
Watching the championship drive. Losing. Presented by Capital One.
Under 7 counts, your problem. My lack of impulse control is about to become your problem.
My focus is on the road, and that's saving me cash with DriveWise. Who's the dummy now?
Get off it. A good driver said 40% for what it made them. Thank you.
It's a good time to be a doer. Now your phone not only knows what that thing is, but where that thing is. Lockers are no longer just for gym shoes. Tile work has moved beyond guesswork. And if you can't run to the store can run to you. Welcome to today's Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Is that
Yes, it is. Gordon Ramsay. Handing out samples. These are just an okay. So you come in there and challenge, dude. Yeah, it's smart, buddy. Almost like you with a brand new iPhone, but not pairing with AT&T.
it's true?
Fingers. Look, buffet. Use the cocktail stick.
Cocktail stick.
Get the most from your new iPhone on AT&T, America's fastest network for iPhones. Switch now and get up to $700 off the new iPhones.
People with type 2 diabetes are excited about the potential of once-weekly Ozempic. In a study with Ozempic, the majority of adults lowered their blood sugar and reached an A1C of less than 7 and maintained it.
Under 7.
And you may lose weight. In the same one-year study, adults lost on average up to 12 pounds.
That's 12 pounds.
A 2-year study showed that Ozempic does not increase the risk of major cardiovascular events like heart attack, stroke, or death.
No increased risk.
Ozempic should not be the first medicine for treating diabetes or for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Do not share needles or pens. Don't reuse needles. Do not take Ozempic if you have a personal or family history of medullary thyroid cancer, multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you are allergic to Ozempic. Stop taking Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, itching, rash, or trouble breathing. Serious side effects may happen, including pancreatitis. Tell your doctor if you have diabetic retinopathy or vision changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase the risk for low blood sugar. Common side effects are nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, and constipation. Some side effects can lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
I discovered the potential of Ozempic.
If eligible, you may pay as little as $25 per prescription. Ask your healthcare provider today about once-weekly Ozempic.
We hope this treatment is working. We just hope.
Alright, sorry for like the silence. I've been messaging my friend about the project. We can see the lights out there. Yeah, it got dark already.
The ACC stands for already crowned Clemson Conference. There's nobody else. They want to destroy teams. That's how champions should think. Let's roll. It's not easy to win. Yeah, I know we're supposed to just destroy everybody.
2-point conversion for the lead, and that's number 1.
That's what it's over. Clemson will survive. Right now, they do look beautiful. They don't look as dominant as they did
targeting 60 spot on Virginia.
Think you were the number one team in the nation?
I think so. Hopefully in a couple weeks we'll get a chance to prove it.
The PlayStation basketball beats Ohio State and Clemson. That's a good game. Buckeyes have lost 2 of their last 3 trips to the desert, including a 31-0 loss in the 2016 game. That game against Clemson. Now, over his last 6 games, we look at our PlayStation player impact rating. Trevor Lawrence has thrown 20 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Lawrence's 20 TD passes are both to FBS, and his 96 total QB are also leads the country. I said it going to break that any other year, if this was the national championship, I would be sitting on a couch, cooler beer, ready to watch it, excited about this game. But it's a semifinal. That's the way it works going in with 2 versus 3. You can argue that either of these teams are the best in the country. And I'm going to start with you on this one. Why is Clemson playing the card of being underlooked when they've been just blowing people out the last month and a half?
If we're being honest, because we haven't seen much of them on air. Like, right? Because everybody's like, Clemson's playing, they're going to kill whoever they're playing. Let's watch the next game. Well, the last month of the season, I said, you know what? Clemson's kind of all up in tune. They are done. I mean, and if you saw when the rankings came out, if you were watching closely, when Ohio State saw that they were number 2, their reservations in Clapton.
Did you see Ryan Day in the background? That was a great show.
Their reservations in Clapton weren't just because they didn't get the 1 seed. It was because they were thinking, we gotta play Clemson. You're not eager about that matchup. I'll tell you that right now. Man, them Tigers, boy, there's so many weapons at receiver, both receivers, running back. But the only reason they're not ranked higher is because they didn't have the opportunity to beat Ohio State. And I sat with that one swinging the other on Friday. And I couldn't even get the question out. The question was going to be, you're always positive, you always have the same energy, and you've been consistent every single time I've sat with you. But this is the first time that you are kind of defending your team. And before I finish the question, you jump. He's like, yeah, I'm defending the team. I'm the leader of this team, and no one's giving us respect. We win the national championship, all we do is keep winning, and no one wants to talk about us. Clemson is right there, but everyone wants to talk about Bama, everyone wants to talk about all these other schools. So he's used this as motivation. The players are buying into it. And the other thing I'll say too, that offensive line, in about 20 years of evaluating Clemson, they've always been kind of average up front at best. Great weapons, good quarterbacks, but not great up front. This year, it's the best offensive line that I've seen from Clemson in 20 years of evaluating them. And it's allowing Trevor Lawrence to get back from the early start to the season, which was up and down. It's allowing ETN, the running back, to have explosive plays. And I think they're the most explosive offense in this forward.
Is Emmanuel right when, because look, I'll be the first to admit it, when you see Clemson play, they're up on a team 21-0 right away, and you flip it, and you're done with them because they're blowing everybody up. Is that part of it? Because I've been trying to figure out why we're not talking about Clemson the same breath we were talking about a defending national champion like we would Alabama or Ohio State or something.
Because in the week leading up, even in their biggest game on paper, coming into it was week 2 with A&M, number 12 in the country, which rolled into Clemson, who at the time was sitting atop the rankings. That was the second biggest game that day behind LSU and Texas. So even in their biggest moment, they still were the second most talked about game leading up throughout the course of that week. So there had been what game were you going to totally sell out for? Was it going to be NC State? I know it was on ABC at prime time, but there hasn't really been that opportunity for them to captivate the audience. We've had it twice. We had them against North Carolina, and they almost got. Part of the problem was the offensive line that you alluded to, and their backs more specifically, struggled with the pass rush. And those guys were getting home, and Trevor Lawrence was feeling the heat, and he couldn't ever get comfortable within the game plan. But we saw him 7 or 8 weeks later when they played against South Carolina. That was a completely different team. A team that was explosive through the air, a team that was really going to be more methodical by using the ground, and Trevor Lawrence using his legs as well. And then the willingness to throw the ball underneath, which I think he struggled early in the season with. So I think this team has grown by leaps and bounds. Them and Florida, the 2 most improved teams I've seen this year. And Clemson, I think, might still have their best football in front of them.
We all assumed going into the season that they were going to be here today, and and we all said, well, their schedule is very difficult. I think we failed to overlook just how good football teams are. We've talked about how they're explosive offense, this defense is special, not best teams in America, attacking from every angle.
You know, that great you said a second ago, the team that they almost got by North Carolina, their head coach joins us now, Matt Brown, who sat in these seats up here playing TV back as North Carolina in a bowl game. Coach, congratulations on your first year back. When you heard the narrative about Clemson throughout the season, what were your thoughts when you heard about them maybe not being as good as they were in years past?
I thought that Dabo should pay all the media for saying they weren't any good. Because he loves the chip on the shoulder role, and they're great. And here he was saying, listen to these guys, man, they don't think we're any good. I thought it was perfect for him. I mean, their teams usually start slowly. Remember, they lost Pittsburgh early. I even called the game that they lost to Syracuse, and they come back and win national championships. And it'll be a great game for them in Ohio State. But also, I think Clemson has a great chance to win the national championship. They're good in every area.
Matt, what was it that you and your staff saw on tape leading into the Clemson game that really gave you guys success all the way until the final whistle?
We wanted to slow the game down, so we actually huddled up and we're a tempo team, but we knew we didn't want to let their offense stay on the field. We forced a couple of turnovers. We wanted to keep the game close till the fourth quarter, put pressure back on them. And then we were healthy at that time in the secondary, and we changed up a lot of different looks to try to confuse Trevor. The hardest thing for them, they're good on defense. They're not the NFL defense they were last year, but they're really good, especially them. But when you look at their offense, they've got three receivers that can beat anybody one-on-one. He is one of the best running backs in the country. Trevor Lawrence is 6'6". He can run like a deer. So if you try to double cover the wide receivers, they're going to run the ball on you. If you stack the box, they can beat you one-on-one outside. So they're going to outscore you unless you keep the ball away from them. Because their defense is really good. Their offense is better. And I think that's the thing that's hard to try to control because they're so good on offense.
You know, one of the knocks on Clemson, I guess, for being honest about it, is the schedule. They do have two out-of-conference games, two SEC schools, Texas A&M and South Carolina. But really, the knock on them throughout the year has been the ACC schedule has not been great. We're now back in coaching. You coach at an ACC school. How would you assess the overall health of your conference, top to bottom of football?
I think the conference has got a lot of parity other than Clemson. It seems like it's very similar to when I was here before. Florida State was better than the rest of us. And the rest of us were trying to catch them, but that's not Clemson's fault. And I think sometimes it was really sad for me when Clemson beat us 21-20 and they dropped them in the bowl because it was us. I mean, give us credit for playing well. It's really bad. They just beat North Carolina by 1 point, dropped them down. So I really felt like give us some credit in this deal. Because when somebody plays bad, somebody else plays good. But I don't think that's Clemson's fault. I think they're really, really good. And I think we'll see that in the Ohio State game. I think that'll be a great matchup.
Coach Manny Acho, man, enough about Clemson. Let's talk about you and your successes this year. You go from a 2-win program taking them to 6 wins and a bowl game. I know in Texas you did so many phenomenal things. I was there for a lot of them. Where does this rank among some of your best seasons? I don't care about the records, but just the fun you had and the success you had.
I think it's probably the most fun I've ever had. Because I took 5 years away, and I realized what I missed was the players. I missed the mentoring of the players. And if you're not careful, you were on a team that's 25-2 as we lost the national championship after losing Colt McCoy in the national championship game to Chris McElroy.
I knew that was going to
Man, he was going to bring it up, so I might as well. But I wasn't happy. I was mad that we lost 2. I wasn't happy that you guys won 25. And one of the real regrets in my life is that I should have been bragging on you about 25 wins instead of being miserable about 2. And I asked Coach Royal why he quit coaching at 52 years old. Coach Royal won 3 national championships at Texas. And he said, when the losses became devastating and the wins became a relief, there was no joy. And that's the way I got in Texas. I'm going to ask, bud, I'm still not going to enjoy losses. I told Sally I'd be okay. I'll handle losses better. I'm not. And if you ever start handling losses better, you should quit. So you put so much in, you want to win, man. You compete. But if it's an ugly win, maybe some of your guys. We beat Colorado 38-14. I was mad because it wasn't good enough to beat State. It wasn't good enough to beat Oklahoma, and that's stupid. It's just stupid. So I was worried more about the wins, I think, subconsciously than the players. And I love the players now, and I'm having fun with them. I love you guys, but I'm not sure that I showed it as much. So I'm eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner with players and mentoring them, and it's a lot of fun.
You love some players more than others. I'm sure you love Sam more than me. In reference to just saying this, bro. Great back for him.
I love Manny when he was making the tackle.
Absolutely. Understandable. Coach, what's next for this program? Obviously, we're excited for your bowl game. We're thrilled about the matchup you guys are going to have against Temple. But what's next? Where does North Carolina go from here? Because I think all of us are a little surprised to see that you're in the postseason first and foremost. And then we're also very excited about the direction of the program because clearly you guys are trending up.
Well, you got to have a quarterback that we've got one. He's really good. The future's very bright for him. We had to get to a bowl game so we get another chance for spring practice.
All right.
Another spring practice because we got a lot of young guys that have to play next year. So we were able to do that. We need to win the bowl game and win the season. It's very important. But our path is very defined. Clemson's the team that you have to beat in this league to have a chance. And it wasn't that way before because we didn't have a college football playoff. So what we've got to do is win the Coastal. That's 7 different teams have won the Coastal the last 7 different years. We've got to become the team in the Coastal that's the best team. And then we've got to take Clemson like the rest of us, and they're winning national championships. So we have a goal that's out there for us. It's a huge goal, and they're a great team, not a good team. But we know what we've got to do to try to win a national championship. And nothing would be more fun for me to come back to North Carolina, win the ACC, and win a national championship. And that's our goal.
Hey, Coach, best of luck the rest of the way. I know we had so much fun watching North Carolina play football this year. On behalf of everyone, though, here in Bristol, this offseason, have to necessarily get to some dancing lessons or go dance a little bit. Get the videos in the locker room, get a little moves.
The guys did tell me, Coach, just be natural, just be you. And I said, I have been. It's not working. We're going to have to
Coach, good luck, man. Happy holidays, and good luck in the bowl game. We certainly enjoy watching you back on the sidelines.
Thank you. Appreciate what you do.
Matt Brown, head coach North Carolina. It has been fun watching Matt get back out there. You know, because you see these guys, they come work with us, and then you go see them back in what I like to refer to as their natural habitat. And Matt, I thought, said something, and Coach Moore, I want you to speak to this, because he alluded to it. He said, look, when I was in Texas, I was expected to win 11 games a year and compete for a national championship. He didn't enjoy it the way he's enjoying it.
It's easy to lose perspective about what the job of head football coach in college is really all about. And certainly you have to win because winning allows you to continue to mentor. It allows you to continue to inspire young men to reach their dreams. It allows you to continue to have an impact on a university and a community. It allows you to continue to do what you love. And sometimes you have to step away and really realize what you're missing, what's important to you, what you value, and then you step back in and do much better.
Yeah, Matt, he alluded to it. He said, we went to Colorado, and I was on that team in 2009, year we went to the national championship, and we beat Colorado handily, 38-14. It was as if we got cussed out after we won that game because it wasn't good enough. When you hear him in his voice, I can just hear his heart so much happier. And even him saying this is the most fun he's ever had, he was able to step away from it. Even with all his wisdom and all his coaching experience, to step away from it, go to UNC now and realize that know what? Enjoy each and every win because they're hard to get. So, from a player that played for him when the ceiling was extremely high and the bar was extremely high, you can hear the voice now kind of where he is now and where he is.
We heard Chris Peterson say, they said away from Boston. He's like, I wasn't enjoying the big games because I was so focused on that week, preparing my team to get a win. I didn't step back and enjoy it. Now we see Matt Brown. He's got North Carolina back in the ball game, like Greg alluded to a second ago. They are trajectory that way. I just make up a word. I think I trajectory. I knew what I was talking about. Either way, Matt Brown's got North Carolina go. We'll continue to break down the bowl matchups here on Championship.
I'm a tailgater, tailgating to get to my tailgate. Now, it might not get me there any faster, but hey, it gets me ready for football. Let's tailgate. I can't go anywhere. But you're so busy watching me tailgate that you don't see the one in front of you. Your company car insurance, they might not pay for this. Forget all state. I'd be better protected from getting happy. Like me.
On the season finale of Fans by Dr. Pepper. Big is terrorized.
He punched a hole in the jumbotron. That was this.
However you find your big fan shirt, you wear shoulder pads or spikes on it. It doesn't look straight back.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
We get the biggest tailgate in the year. Neighbors will check out that tailgate. Breathe.
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fans.
There's just something different with Disney movie.
I think we've watched every single movie at least twice.
Verizon knows there's no better way to stream your Disney favorites than on America's most reliable network. That's why we give you Disney Plus on us with your unlimited plan.
We love Star Wars more than anything, and since we have Verizon, we're going to be able to stream it like that.
Plans start at just $35 per month. And now, buy one of our best phones and get one free. Plus, get $400 when you switch.
Anybody want to join the dark side?
Because the network more people rely on gives you more.
That's just what I wanted.
Is this what you read? Secrets of my house? Oh, sure.
Don't forget to use this holiday season. Get an SUV from me. Celebrate the holidays with 5% on MSRP for current eligible non-dealer emergency lessons from 2019 performance.
You're watching for the Jays? Or you're watching for these Jays? Remember the biggest move of the season?
This is pretty big too.
Watching for the individuals?
Or you're watching for the MVPs.
Clippers, Raptors, Pelicans, Bucks, Wednesday, ESPN, ball for all.
There's nothing better than enjoying a delicious meal with family and friends. At BRQ, we pay close attention to planning and use locally sourced ingredients to make sure you have a truly amazing food experience. From handcrafted cocktails and barbecue that melts in your mouth to fresh seafood, straight from the Gulf, and scrumptious desserts. Chef Justin has perfected the art of Louisiana cooking. Whatever the occasion or the gravy, there's something for everyone. At BRQ in Baton Rouge, recently voted best barbecue by 225 magazine.
So far. It's fine, all right. Turkey style milk? That's not.
I choose chunky style because it has the wholesome chunks the way kids need, unlike smooth style.
Hey guys, some chunks from me. Neither is the way to get wireless. We're easy. Online, and right now, you can get any plan for just $15 a month. Only at mintmobile.com.
All right, so the Buckeyes are making their ninth Fiesta Bowl appearance, which is most of any school. Ohio State 5-3 of those games, with the last being a 31-0 loss to Clemson in the 2016 CFP. Earlier today, Rick Davis caught up with both coaches for the Clemson Tigers and Ohio State Buckeyes, Daniel Sweeney and Ryan.
Tell me how it is that we out to Arizona and play a great opponent in Ohio State, man. What an unbelievable season they've had. And congratulations to LSU and Oklahoma as well. But, we're just glad to be in it. And credit goes to these players that worked their butts off all year long. Our staff has been amazing. Tremendous leadership, focus. It's not easy to win, especially to win, as many games in a row as these guys have won. And to get to this point, this is what happens when you win the ACC championship. You get a chance to go play for the whole day. We're excited about it.
Then a couple of players that turn around and give you money or something, so you don't want to put them in some extra conditioning. But I mentioned this earlier, and I know you love these things accomplishing first. You have an opportunity last year with the first team to go undefeated and win the national championship in college football playoff era. Now, for whatever reason, the oddity of being the third seed, that hasn't happened in going. What is it that drives you? Finding new things, even if they're a little off beat, new things to do.
That's fun. I mean, everybody loves a challenge. Or at least, we love one here. And I think that just, again, you're always looking for little things along the way to free fuel. When you're going across country, man, free fuel's good. It's expensive. Gas costs a lot of money, so when you get free fuel, it's always good.
And aside from all of that type of thing, down with you have a lot of new players on the defensive front particularly. How would you describe the improvement that your defense has made? I know you played well all year. Defensive efficiency numbers have been even better than last year. I know that. When you want to take how you improve over the course of the season on that side of the ball.
Well, they've been unbelievable. I mean, we're probably top 5 in the country in turnover margin now, which is the highest turnover margin. I think we're like plus 14 or something like that. That's about one of the highest that we've ever been since I've been the head coach. We were like plus 1 or 2 this time last year. These guys have been consistent. I mean, just tremendously consistent in their preparation, in their execution. Coach B and our staff's done an amazing job. Game planning every single week. We see a lot of different things along the way. Really just more of the same. They really have done it all year long. 13 games, plays here or there, but 13 games this defense has been up to the task, and they've done it in a dominant way.
Sort of Lawrence against Justin Fields sort of feels like an old recruiting battle or something, doesn't it?
Yeah, first of all, 2 great young men, obviously from down in Georgia, definitely 2 unbelievable prospects coming out of high school. So really not surprising at all to see what Justin's done with his opportunity and what Trevor's done with his opportunity. And it's kind of crazy that you got these two kids right here from Georgia, and we got to go all the way out to Arizona to play the game. But it'll be exciting. I've seen Ohio State a few times. I mean, they're unbelievable. This is definitely. We played them a couple times. This is easily the most talented and the most complete Ohio State team that we've played those previous couple times over the last several years. Unbelievable defense, and then what they've done offensively has been special to watch. Led by Justin, and the combination of their run game and their pass game, and just the threat that he brings, his ability to reach with his arm and his legs. He's a special player. So it'll be a great matchup. 2 great young men, 2 great quarterbacks that have a great will to win, and should be a heck of a game out there in Arizona.
And Devil, hey, with us on that subject, we're also pleased to be joined right now by the head coach of the Buckeyes, Ryan Day. So, Ryan, I know you hope to be the #1 seed, but now you have an opportunity to take on Clemson in the semifinal game of the Fiesta Bowl. What was your reaction when you heard the news and saw the matchup?
First off, just unbelievable respect for what Davil's done in that Clemson program. And they're the defending champs. We're just honored to be part of this playoff and excited to have an opportunity to play on the game.
When Devil was just talking about Justin Fields, how would you describe the way he has adapted and transformed himself into the leader of your offense?
Yeah, like Coach was talking about, I think it's going to be a great matchup. Trevor is, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Has done it in the biggest stages, and, he's done an unbelievable job with his opportunity. And I think, I'm proud of the way Justin's come along. This is a guy who
came in, this year, never having a clean start, and kind of found his way as the season's gone on. I think he's gotten better and played, and some big moments. He showed how competitively tough he is, and he's become the leader of our offense.
Devil, when you look at Ryan's team and Ryan's sitting right here with him, what would be the best compliment you could give from Ryan's team as you get ready to bust them up before you guys square off in 3 weeks?
Hey, listen, I have a great and deep appreciation for how hard it is to do what they've just done. It's incredible to go undefeated, to win your championship game. You know that you're going to get everybody's best. You play Ohio State, you're going to get everybody's best. The whole country's always going to watch. And what that team has done and what Coach Day has done is special. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's a special and incredibly difficult thing to achieve. So, I just have an appreciation for what they've done and what it's taken for them to get to this point. And same with our team, and a great respect for who they are and the way they've done things, and all those players. We know a lot of them. We recruit a lot of the same guys, and do it the right way. So, a lot of respect for the Buckeyes, a lot of respect for Coach Day, and for him to do this in his first year. It's incredible. So look forward to a great matchup out there, and I know both teams will have a great will to win.
We look forward to that, Devil. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. Best of luck. Look forward to seeing you out at the PlayStation PS goal line. We appreciate you sticking around with us for a couple more minutes. How will you address this with your team? Was there any? Obviously you're excited about the opportunity to play Clemson. What was the level of disappointment of slipping out of the #1 overall seed?
Yeah, we didn't talk about it all that much. We knew if we had to go win the whole thing, we had to play, everybody, play the best. And so, whether it's LSU, Clemson, or Oklahoma, you got to be able to play the best to go win the national championship. So, we didn't talk a whole bunch about that. We just talked about finishing off this first race, which was the Big Ten championship, and then now we have a new challenge ahead of us. And so, we already talked about that after the announcement was made. And so now we have all our eyes on Phoenix.
You're the first program ever to win 3 straight outright Big Ten titles. Last 2 years didn't make it in the playoff. How would you describe the level of vindication that's felt in the program for getting into the playoff this time?
Well, it's something we talked about all season. We looked at the schedule, and each individual game, we felt like we had a really good chance to win. But when you add up all those games, and you look at all those games, it's like what Clemson has to deal with. You're getting everybody's best shot week in and week out, and it's not easy. You got to bring it every week, and so what we did is we took it 1 week at a time. We knew all it took was one game, and we could get thrown out. And so I thought our ability this year to focus, and also our older guys who've been left out the last couple of years, they felt that extra edge to make sure we're in this year.
Hey, Ryan, one thing is, as a first-time head coach, you have experience with Urban Meyer, but I know routine for all coaches is big. How can you come up with your routine to try to get ready for your game now? You've got some time to catch up and make rest up to get ready for the 28th.
Yeah, so just talking about that now with the team. We're gonna let these guys take their finals and rest up a little bit this week. We'll practice this weekend and then kind of get into a game week, leading up to our trip out there, and then give the guys a couple days off, and then we'll meet them out there on Sunday. Once we get out to Arizona, then we'll have a normal game week as we prepare for our game of 28.
And Ryan, as you look at your team and this challenge that's in front of them right now, and most of the guys, in uncharted waters, what do you do to make sure you're right at the right emotional pitch coming 28?
Well, I think you're in the battle every day to make sure you're maximizing each day, and a lot of it has to do physically, a lot of it has to do emotionally, and a lot of it has to do mentally. And we're going up against a great opponent. And I think offensively and defensively, what Clemson's done over the past few years is incredible. They certainly have a great talent, but they're very, very well coached. So we're going to have, like you said, have a lot of energy and hit a peak when we have that game on Saturday. But more importantly, we got to be ready to execute at a high level because the margin for error will be tiny. So we got to be really on our game as coaches and as players to be prepared.
Reese, thank you. That was from earlier today. We'll have much more coming up on ESPN's Championship Drive.
Under 70 pounds, safety guard puppy, but had lack of impulse control, it's about to become your problem.
You were after the 2 p.m. production meeting?
Calendar's up to date with the judges.
Yeah, I checked, but every hour is blocked off as Dan time, so I wasn't sure.
It's always there.
So, are you going to the production meeting?
2 o'clock. Nah, it's that game time happens to be much time for that. Sorry. Infinity program back. Guilty one from the Dominic.
When you're far from home, you can't stop thinking of your family.
Nick's light lets me know that he's safe out there.
I love getting instantly uploaded photos of life's big moments.
Knowing how much he wants to be with us is encouraging.
Being 7,000 miles away from home is tough, but it helps to have something to remind you of why you're here.
Limited time offers. Display.
This is Championship Drive. Who's in? Presented by Jacqueline Line.
This is where it really gets fun. The Daily Dub Kazarian is your daily wager fan. Weekdays, ESPN 2, 6 p.m. Eastern. Also weekends during football season.
Sunday 9 a.m.
Sunday 9 a.m. So get ready for all of the football, talk all the bets. This is why Dub Kazarian is here with us. We're going to start with the semifinals. We had kind of touched on it earlier about things that stood out to us. And the lines of the semifinals in particular are telling. Talk about that.
Yeah, this is when the whispers at the water cooler start in the workplace. It basically comes down, this might come down to kind of what they say, bros versus Joe. Professional bettors versus the average Joe. Because much like we see in the Super Bowl, where the public money, the recreational bettors, that influences and that sort of is a storyline with the national semifinals. It's not just like the match on a Saturday afternoon. This is like the public money. And this line now is 13 with LSU favored, right? And it's going to be a thing where
What did it open up at?
10. Okay. Very soft, very quick. It went to like higher, like actually 9.5 on the double digits. But comes down to this: the public just remembers what they last saw, which is Oklahoma stumbling down the stretch here, winning these close games, and then LSU just boat racing everyone. So what's the point spread that can get two-way action? And it's now 13. But the professionals, the math model guys, think this is like a 7-8 point margin for the game. So they're going to be on the underdog here, whereas the public's going to be on LSU.
When you see that number, you see 9.5, right? And football number's 10. They
Right.
have it's just a little bit underneath that. That would indicate that maybe Vegas is trying to get you to think, oh, 10 wins it, but actually the other side would be the play. Is that accurate?
Right. Well, it's a soft number. It comes out. I mean, obviously you can take one respective bet or two respective bets, and then the market starts to solidify. So now it's at 13. It's not like there's been much action. It's just who has been betting it.
Is that a reaction to the sharp money?
Yes, yeah, respective money. I think this will get a little nibble. The limits are lower. The limits get higher as we get closer to kickoff. Yeah. But it's very fascinating just to see, because again, what did we see yesterday? Right? Yeah. A team that was a narrow victory over Baylor and LSU just crushed it.
Afterwards, trying to figure out how to get in for the hook. Because it's going to be a hook. There's going to be a hook. Go to the other side. So that's Ohio State.
Well, just again, soft launch, if you want to call it, because Ohio State was a short favorite. Then Mets came in. Clemson's about a 1.5, 2-point favorite in the market. And it makes sense, power rating wise. It's a coin flip game. That's why we're so excited for that game. We all assume LSU is going to win comfortably, but this game is really sort of the toss-up. And it's fascinating just from a fan's perspective. As you guys know, you got one team who's just crushing everyone in the weak competition, and the other team that has done well, crushed a lot of opponents, but also much more competitive conference.
Talk about some of the other bowl games and why it is so challenging come bowl season to execute it.
That's the fascinating thing to the other bowl games, the non-national semifinal games, just how nuanced point spreads and odds making is, because there's two major unknowns, right? You have motivation. You have teams that miss out, like Utah. How motivated are they going to be for the month off, wondering what could have happened? And then you also have the players, the draftees that's become more prevalent the last couple of years, sitting out. And if you look at some of these point spreads, Georgia playing 7.5 to Baylor. In a vacuum, if they're playing on a neutral site middle of the season, probably like 13. But because they expect Georgia to have a few players sit out, and then last year in the Sugar Bowl, Georgia is a double-digit favorite, lost outright to Texas because one team wanted to be there, the other team was still thinking about the narrow loss of the SEC title game. And so you have all these situations, and odds making, it's now become like NFL preseason, where it's a race to get information. Last year, you saw Will Greer, sort of a late news started surfacing about his missing that bowl game, huge line move, because they were relegated, I think, to a third-string quarterback. So there's just going to be a race for information, much like NFL preseason betting is. And an odds maker told me this quote, he goes, Alabama, Michigan, because they're facing off in a bowl game. Alabama, Michigan should have lower betting limits than Pitt, Eastern Michigan. And you wouldn't think that. You think the lower, lesser names, but because you don't know who's going to play, literally who's going to play, the power rating for Alabama is tough right now without Tua. They don't really know how to power rate them. And then Michigan, that's the guy missing. And then the motivation factor, obviously, Alabama used to playing in the college football playoffs. So that's just fun. But you know Pitt, Eastern Michigan are going to show up and want to play. So it's just very difficult. You have these kind of wonky lines that are very elastic to borrow an economics. They're going to move, they're going to fluctuate based on all the things that surface.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head when you talk about motivation. Yeah, that's what's so interesting with these ball games. When you talk about it from a player's perspective, because I was at the Sugar Bowl last year, Georgia played Texas. Georgia didn't want to be there. Like, I don't care what anybody says. And first off, the first round pick, DeAndre Baker, he was like, I'm checking out. I'm going to be first round pick. I'm not even playing in the game. I saw the line for Georgia Baylor. I was like, oh, I like Baylor. Because you know Matt Rule, we just got off the phone with a little while ago, his players are going to for sure want to be there.
Those guys won one game.
A few years ago, think about this. If you're in Waco or Baylor, this is the biggest Baylor has seen in a decade.
I mean, this is huge. We did a segment last week. We talked about teams that we're going to want to bet on or fade or bet against once the bowl lineups are announced on Sunday. And one team moving through all for us, Louisville. I mean, this is a team that was just a disaster at the end of last year. New coach, Satterfield comes in. They are bowl eligible. You know they're showing up in their bowl game. You know, because I got to scour that. That's circle it. Random game. You got all 40 bowl games. I got the pop-up bats covering it. All sorts of stuff everywhere.
I'll take the look at that.
But the other interesting thing I think to consider is the teams that are hard to prepare for. Last year I called the Houston game versus Army. And I was looking out like, man, Houston's about to get rolled. And I knew they were about to get rolled because Army's a game of discipline. Playing a zone read and triple option type of team, you have to be disciplined. The games leading up to that, Houston had about 3 offsides penalties defensively. If you really look at the tape, you realize if you can't even watch when the quarterback snaps the ball, you sure as heck can't realize you have the running back or the fullback or the receivers. So when you're looking at teams like Air Force, Army, any of those triple option zone read teams, and those are the only ones that are really tricky to see. But that's the thing is last year it was so obvious, right? It was so obvious to the public. Georgia Tech and Paul Johnson's swan song is it a go?
There's also those stories.
Yes, the narratives are if you go around
and they're going to win. It's a triple option. There's no way anybody can stop the triple option. They're playing better down the stretch. Georgia Tech coming in that game a touchdown. They north of the touchdown favorite. Minnesota crushed them. And what did Minnesota parlay that performance into? A great 2019 season. So I guess how do you evaluate those teams that are a little bit nuanced, right, like an air raid versus a triple option in a bowl game?
And one more, and on that, the coaching, like for instance, Memphis now going through a coaching transition.
Yeah.
Like things like that.
There are unknowns, right? So there is stuff that hits the news kind of wire. We talked about like the Will Greer situation last year. That's not baked into a line. So we have a segment called numbers versus narrative. Yeah. So there's a narrative whether the coach's last thing, the coach. A lot of people thought maybe Lane Kiffin was worried about his next job. Wouldn't be focused on the game plan for Sunday's game. They dropped 6 or something. They blew that, right? So there's sometimes that are narratives, and whatever those are, whether it be like down the final 4 weeks of the NFL regular season, teams that are more motivated versus teams that's already in the line. You know, you see teams, there's already a tax on that team, so to speak, on that point spread. And then look, it's a round spear with 2 points. Sometimes it's just random. You want to take a narrative after the game and make it fit. Sure, with the outcomes. Like you said, Minnesota launching the next season. Sometimes I remember you guys were just talking to Matt Brown. I remember there was a Holiday Bowl about 8-10 years ago where they wanted to use that bowl game as a launching pad for the next season, and they were awesome in that game. So you have to dig deep, read the internet, find those quotes because the reporters are obviously putting them out there. But it is completely nuanced. And it's a different animal than the regular season.
How much did Daily Doug just show his Ivy League education? He talked about baking in lines, elastic, and a tax on something. This is great. That's that brown.
It's just like Wall Street.
He did not use trajectory.
He did not. See, that's the difference. We got 3 power 5s and an 9. That's all right there. Like this area daily wager, weekdays 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. It's a good time. There might be some elasticity with the line of Texas Tech. Although you didn't have a Louisville football.
Mississippi State, no line yet.
All right, and Indiana, UConn, the Jimmy V Classic, 9 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday on ESPN. And the ESPN.
I'm a tailgater, tailgate to get to my tailgate. Now, it might not get me there really fast, but hey, gets me ready for football. Let's tailgate. Yes, I can't go anywhere. But you're so busy watching me tailgate that you don't see the one in front of you. Your company car insurance, they might not pay for this. So get all straight. I be better protected today. Like me.
Have you ever worked with Dr. Francis?
Oh, yeah, he's okay.
Just okay.
Guess who just got reinstated?
Well, not officially. Nervous? Yeah. Me too. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out.
I see it. Just okay is not okay. AT&T has America's best network, now with our best plans at our best prices, starting at $35 a month for 4 lines. New from AT&T.
It's a good time to be a doer. Now your phone not only knows what that thing is, but where that thing is. Talkers are no longer just for gym shoes. Tile work has moved beyond yesterday. If you can't run to the store can run to you. Welcome to today's Home Depot. How doers get more done.
On a suspicious fence with Dr. Pepper.
Hey, you're late.
I'm just getting word back from her.
Is that Dijon Mustard? Are you seeing another group?
No.
Was it her? What did she have that I...
She has an under volcano. Look.
She was in propane. This is natural, girl.
It tastes the same to me.
What?
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
We're all shaped by something. For 150 years, college football has shaped schools, communities, leaders.
Alright guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to get my dinner. I'm going to come back here and eat. Sorry, I've been kind of quiet, just trying to get this done. It's a bunch of typing. Hope you guys enjoy all that typing sound effect, and I'll be back. The video's going to stop in about 19 minutes, so yeah, there's definitely going to be a part 2. I'm hungry, son.
Our kind of joy feels different. This holiday, give the gift of Peloton.
We use Daily Dog here for our Capital One Bowl Mania. Preview takes a look at the rest of the New Year's Six Bowls. Memphis takes on Penn State and top golf. Florida's going to take on UVA in the Orange Bowl. It's a big game for the ACC. Oregon's going to be Wisconsin Orange Bowl. Georgia's going to face Baylor. And the Sugar Bowl happens this time every year. Coaching news. Speaking of Memphis, their new coach Mike Norvell is off to FSU. But the Lane train is headed to Oxford. We've already had a silly seas while Arkansas expected to hire Sam Pittman and Eli Drinkwitz headed to Missouri. Let's hear what Norvell had to say in his introductory press conference this afternoon. Tallahassee.
This is an exciting day for Florida State football, the future, and what's to come. I can tell you that this is going to be an incredible journey, and I am honored to join this hand in hand, step by step, with all of the Florida State family in helping take one of the most iconic brands and iconic programs in college football and return it to where it's supposed to be.
We're talking about a coach that said he was just offense coordinator at Arizona State a few years ago as the head coaching job with Memphis. Now he's taken over traditional power at Florida State. Coaching hires can be awkward, as can phones falling on the set. And this is a time of year in the transition where we see it all of the time. We hit bowl season, vacancies come
Alright,
from
back eating some pasta.
jobs are filled. Coach, I'm going to start with the coach. What's the biggest challenge of a coaching transition?
A team is still playing.
Yes.
Overcoming a loss or relief. You know, the guy that's led every meeting, he's talked about every practice, and set the course for your program, and all of a sudden he's gone. And it can work a couple of ways. I mean, there's initially tremendous disappointment amongst the players. It certainly affects your staff, it affects your crew, and all those things. But I think that at some point it can also become a rallying cry as you prepare for a goal game. And so this we can do without it. Whoever the interim coach is comes in and sets his course, and you jump on board and believe it. So I think it can go either way. And you know, these are tough decisions for the coaches. They're decisions that they have to make for themselves, for their families, but they certainly do affect a lot of people in a very bad way.
Yeah, I think as a player early on, especially a young player, it's a little bit of betrayal, if I can be honest, right? You know, Mike Norvell, everything he did at Memphis, phenomenal job. You're still those guys, hey, we're like champions. And we're all this together. We're about to go do this thing. We're about to make it to a New Year's Six bowl game. We're going to represent for the group of five. And then all of a sudden you look up and the coach is gone. And like Coach just alluded to, this coach Norvell has to do what's best for him. And now obviously he's probably sure going to do a phenomenal job for the state. But as a player, after you get over that betrayal, you realize, like, look, we still got a game to go with. Yeah, I'm going to play for the man to my left and go play for the man to my right. So first you got to swallow that pill, and I know that firsthand. Will Muschamp, Peter Park, Texas, when I was there, and he asked came over. And at first I was like, wait a second, Muschamp, you just said we were in this together after going 5 and 7. We were all supposed to write this shit. And now you're going to Florida, and I'm still here. So after you get over that, then you realize, you know what? I still want to play for the name on the back of my jersey, the name on the front of my jersey after that.
And specifically for Norvell, Florida State, it's going to be interesting to see how long it takes for them to develop the players that are there and bring in some more talent. Because it's changed. This is a difficult job now. It really is. And yes, there's talent in Florida, there's no question, but you're going to beat Clemson. And right now, the gap is so big between Clemson and everyone else in this conference, including Florida State. And I know that the last regime, they were trying to build things the right way and really develop a sense of team, which seemed like when Jimbo Fisher, things had kind of fallen apart at that point.
I think one thing that's really challenging in today's day and age of taking over a new job are unrealistic expectations. Now, I'm not ever going to tell a fan base to settle. You shouldn't. But I also think that right now, the sense of urgency for these coaches as they get to a new job has never been more dramatic. He's taken a job in signing days literally 9 days to separate teams. So you're already behind, you're a class behind, you're trying to recruit, trying to salvage a class, and then you're expected to go out, depending on where you're at, to go and be competitive immediately. You want to know why? Because a couple guys have been able to do that, and they all think that they're getting that difference maker. So I think that it's a really difficult time to be a coach, especially with the money that's changing hands and the expectations of some of the programs we just saw fill in with.
Up next, the Florida State Seminoles, they've got the Sun Bowl. They'll take on the Arizona State Sun Devils, who just went through a coaching transition a couple seasons ago. We assume Odell Hagens, he's been the interim coach for the Florida State Seminoles. He will lead Florida State in that game against the Sun Devils that December 31st at 2 Eastern. Joining us now, the head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils, Herm Edwards. Coach, we appreciate your time tonight. And when you look at this matchup with Florida State, what do you expect with the program going through a coaching transition?
Well, I heard you guys talking out on the line, listening to some commentary there, and I think you never realize this in football. Coaches and players are all independent contractors. That's what it is. That's the nature of the game. And I've been in it my whole life. Now, the key is, can collectively they come together to make sure they're successful? Because being an independent contractor, when you're successful, the value goes up. And I think in the situation they're in right now, they're having a coaching change. These players, they're football players. And there's always change in football. That's just the way
change to the high schools. So change is part of their DNA. So as much as we say, well, it's going to affect them and all that, I don't know that so much. I just think that they've grown accustomed to change.
Having just been in that spot of having to take over a program as a new head coach, you're uniquely qualified to speak on what goes on within a program in that moment. What are the biggest challenges for a new head coach to come in? You inherit a roster that you didn't recruit, and a lot of the times you inherit a coaching staff with some of the holdovers that you didn't hire.
Well, I think the first thing you do is you evaluate your coaching staff, because there's good coaches there. Now, they might not be your philosophy per se, but they're still good coaches. And then you look at the players, because you're not inheriting the players. You're not getting rid of the players. Okay, so what can you do when you watch them? The time that you're watching the team now, and I'm pretty sure coaches do that, no different than I did. It's kind of ironic, because I took over, and this team was playing in the same role. So it's just kind of ironic. What you do is you evaluate the players. That's what you're going to do. You're going to evaluate the players on your team, and then see what fits. You can't get a whole roster of players. That's not going to happen. You're going to be in the recruiting business, as Scotty stated. You're talking to guys who've already committed. You pull them out your commitments. What do you want to go move on? That's what you do. So the previous place you were at, which I did not. Some of the coaches, maybe some of those guys are with you. So all those things are part of the equation.
For your young team, what kind of challenge does a program like Florida State present for you now that you've got the work in the summer?
Well, they're athletic. And the history of that takes everything on. I know that my years coaching, a lot of the players that played for us in Tampa was from Florida school. I've had English players play for me. One of my better friends is obviously the lesson down there. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of ironic because we started with him about 2 days ago. So, with that being said, look, these guys like to play football. It's 4 games, don't get something about it. Because again, the coach is taking over. These players are basically, they're going to play because the next coach is coming in to evaluate. So, you're playing for the next coach.
Coach, specifically in Arizona State, where are you from a talent perspective, and where do you need to get better?
Well, for us, depth. You know, when you think about us, we just almost see both with 9 and 17 seasons league. The global bowl next year is going to 7 teams on this team. So, we played this season with 32 freshmen. Either redshirt freshmen or 2 freshmen. So we're very young. We have to build our depth. We need depth. And that's the whole key to college football. Because when you think about the game you play, how many you do play, there's always some injuries that occur. And if you have no depth, how depth is another freshman? So, that's a good thing in a way, because they gain experience. But while they're gaining experience, they're going to make errors. And if you watch them play, I mean, they on the side of the ball, talk about you learn from them, you continue to grow. And it's the depth. I mean, that's many of the teams that makes a long run. It's all about
Coach Greg McElroy, man, congrats on another great year. You're a giant killer. You look at beating Michigan State last year, beating Michigan State again this year, of course, taking care of Oregon in the second to last week of the regular season. Would you say that you're ahead of schedule at this point? I know you relied, obviously, on a lot of youth, but those freshmen, at least I think they're going to become sophomores next year because it feels like you got so many of them. It's amazing what you guys have done. You feel right now as though you're ahead of schedule based on where you're at relative to when you took the job.
Well, we're going in the right direction, that's for sure. I think we got another class of guys coming in. If it all works out, we'll have another good class of players coming in. So it's kind of been, unique in that sense, the fact that we have some of the young guys who just mentioned, games going to road, Michigan State or NC. We went on the road to Cal to play. Oregon, but it's kind of funny, they're so young. This is what they don't understand. It's like, a lot of these guys don't get it. It's just, when they play, it's a new experience. And it's not like, well, it's Michigan State or it's Oregon. It's kind of like, oh, okay, that's just play. No, That's the good part, you know. Now the hard part is, sometimes, so what they've done is we have been consistent on how we play. When we play teams that are ranked, it seems like we like to be underdog. They play at a higher level. I think the key is we got to step in our football. It's the standard of how we want to play. It's clear we got. We don't want the opponent to set your standard, and that's what we're going through right now. Trying to play a high standard every time we play.
Coach Emmanuel here. Congrats again, obviously, on a great season. You've coached a variety of men across a variety of generations. What's the hardest part about coaching in college right now with all the distractions?
Well, we just mentioned it. How many people are in their life that they need to build? Due to the fact of social media and that thing they carry in their hand. That's their lifeblood. And that's the thing that you always guard against, you know, is the fact that who else is talking to you, right? Outside of being a football coach or the teammates, who else is influencing them? You know, how many likes are they looking for when they take their phone call, right? So that's what you're dealing with. And that's the world we're in. You can coach, no matter who you are now. You can say that every coach talks to people. It's what are your part? And I was still very good. I told a freshman team, you know, you leave from high school and you come to college, you're going to have a lot of idle time in your team. What do you do with the skill with that idle time? When you work on the football, go back. I was a first team that every what do you spend your time doing when you're not? You need a lot of time to stay there. Don't get them. Don't get 4 hours a day now. You don't get it. You don't get 12. You get 4. What are they doing with that other time? What are their priorities? That's what I was saying. What are they? What's important?
Coach, most important question here.
Sure.
How's your golf game since going back to
You know what? If I just, my golf game out there with the window, man. Imagine this. Just close your eyes and just look at what it says. When you have these many young guys, it's like her test.
The most important number, perhaps, for Herb Edwards, head coach of Arizona State, is he's 2-0 against the Cats. He's beaten Arizona 2 years in a row, and he's probably the one man responsible for keeping the Pac-12 out of the playoff. Coach, congratulations on perfectly responding.
I think Larry Scott's calling you now, Coach.
Congratulations on both, Coach. Best of luck in the bowl game against Florida State. Happy holidays. Look forward to talking to you soon. Herb Edwards, head coach of Arizona State. Always good. A little pep talk from Herb on life and football. Monday Night Football. He was once a member of the Philadelphia Eagles. They take on the New York Giants Monday at 8 Eastern. Coverage begins 6 p.m. Eastern with Monday Night Countdown on ESPN and ESPN. Under 7.
stretching as